What do you do when a man starts digging his wife's grave while she's still alive? Or when a boy's future blows up, literally, because the cow he was herding explodes? Yep, I recently read a collection of short stories that made me laugh, gasp, and stare into the void, all within 115 pages. And no, it's not a fever dream. It's Mia Couto. Let's talk about Voices Made Night.
The first time I let a girl into my life and she tries to eat me.
This was my first full-on dive into Mia Couto's world after discovering his story, The Birds of God, in a different anthology. And trust me, Voices Made Night is a roller coaster. A literary roller coaster. A Mozambican magical realist, political dystopian, romantic, philosophical, laugh-until-you-choke roller coaster. Let's begin with the fire. A man so convinced his wife is withering away, he starts digging her grave while she's still healthy and breathing. Love, concern, or just extreme DIY funeral prep. Then there's the day Mabata-bata exploded. This tells of a different kind of relationship, one between a boy and his uncle, who does not recognize him as a child. The boy is forced to herd cattle instead of going to school. One day the fattest cow, yes, the dowry cow, explodes. That's not a metaphor. It goes boom. That's one way to say no to marriage. Uncle still wasn't impressed. In How Ascolino de Perpetuo Socorro lost his spouse, we meet an alcoholic husband and his introvert wife. You can already guess, disaster ahead. Spoiler, he loses more than just his drinking buddy. Now so you haven't flown yet, Carlota Gentina. Oh boy. A man believes his wife is a witch because his brother-in-law thinks he saw something. So naturally, he pours boiling water on her to help her transform into a creature. The result? Tragedy, prison time, and a sorry bro might have been a mistake moment from his brother-in-law.
Witchcraft is a vice of sisters, an illness they are born with.
Page 48. Who hurt this man? But it's not all doom. Okay, actually it is, but it's weirdly enjoyable doom. Then there's the girl with a twisted future. A father ties his daughter to a drum to train her as a contortionist, because someone told him contortionists earn more money. Spoiler, they don't. He believed a rumor and stretched his daughter's spine. That's a parenting L. The ex-future priest and his would-be widow. A girl falls in love with a man training to be a priest. They connect. She ends up pregnant, because love finds a way. Even through celibacy. Even Mia Couto knew this one needed to be read to be believed. Patanhoca, the lovesick snake catcher. Our guy is not exactly Prince Charming, so he surrounds his crush's house with snakes to scare off the competition. I mean, roses are too mainstream? Then things turn political. In The Barber's Most Famous Customer, a barber shows off a postcard of a white man and says he cut that hair. Next thing he knows, boom, he's arrested for harboring a terrorist. His marketing strategy becomes a national security threat.
A joke. Let's see about that. We know only too well there are subversives here from Tanzania, Zambia, wherever. Terrorists. It's probably one of those you put up here.
Page 113. Marketing tip. Don't advertise your business with lies during political tension. The Whales of Quissico has a man believing a whale will show up and vomit riches. While waiting, the authorities label him a potential arms smuggler. Dream big, but maybe not that big. And finally, the tale of the two who return from the dead. Two men return after a flood, only to find out they're officially dead. The government literally needs to investigate and approve their aliveness.
We have closely examined the situation of the two individuals who arrived in the village and have reached the following formal decision, namely that comrades Luis Fernando and Anibal Mucavel should be deemed members of the population in existence. Next day, they began to see to the question of the documents that would prove they were alive.
Can you imagine needing permission to be alive? The Talking Raven's last warning. A man vomits a raven that talks to the dead. People line up at his house for spiritual consultations. It's all fun and games until the raven starts saying a little too much. Mia Couto plays with reality like a magician with a bag of paradoxes. His prose is poetry on caffeine. Check out some of these lines.
Now is it only the sun that reigns?
Page 58.
I'm a blind man who sees many doors.
Page 48.
My throat had gone blind.
Page 45.
Happiness stepped out of her life and forgot to return.
Page 83.
The widow wrapped herself in a cloak of sourness, becoming ever more widowed. She would finish when the beer had wetted all her blood.
Page 84.
His voice lay prostrated on the ground.
Page 111. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that level of lyrical pain? Before I show you the book behind all this mind-bending brilliance, let's talk about the man who wrote it, Mia Couto. Born on July 5, 1955 in Mozambique, Antonio Emilio Leite Couto, or Mia Couto, was already publishing poetry at the age of 14. 14. What was I doing at 14? Probably failing to keep a Tamagotchi alive. He actually set out to study medicine, but life had other plans. In 1974, he paused school to become a journalist during a time of political upheaval. A decade later, after heading several institutions, because why not be good at everything, he returned to school and finished a degree in biology. To date, Couto has over 20 literary works published in more than 20 countries, translated into Portuguese, English, French, German, Italian, Catalan. I mean, the man has range. His first publication in 1983 was a poetry collection titled Raiz do Orvalho and Voices Made Night. The book I've been raving about was his first collection of short stories, published in 1986. One of his novels, Sleepwalking Land, Terra Sonambula, 1992, was even named one of the top 12 African books of the 20th century by the Zimbabwe International Book Fair. Oh, and he's also the first African to win the prestigious Latin Union Literary Prize. Last I checked, he's still writing, and also working as a biologist, because apparently being amazing at one thing just wasn't enough. And now finally, the book that took me on this wild, weird, and wonderful ride is Voices Made Night by Mia Couto. Translated from Portuguese by David Brookshaw, this collection blends magical realism, post-colonial politics, and everyday absurdity. It's dystopian, poetic, and deeply human. Whether he's writing about exploding cows, lovesick snake charmers, or government-confirmed ghosts, Mia Couto pulls you into a world where logic bends, but emotion remains raw and real. And you know what? It was the perfect book to launch my Africa Reading Challenge. If you love stories that blur the lines between reality and myth, that challenge power while still making you laugh, you need to read this book. I'll leave you a link to this book in the description. Thanks for watching. If you've read Mia Couto, or plan to, drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't pour boiling water on anyone. Ever.